Welcome to Big Ten in 10, Big Ten Women's Soccer in 10 minutes. I'm Dean Linke, along with former All-Big Tenner Hannah Davison from Northwestern. And right now we put the spotlight on the Iowa Hawkeyes. That means a visit with Dave Diianni, now in his 7th season, after winning 3 Division II national championships in 5 years at Grand Valley State. And Cloe Lacasse, who all 4 years during her time at Iowa, that's right, all 4 years, she led the Hawkeyes in scoring. She's still getting it done in Portugal, where she led the league in scoring. Hannah, Dave, and Chloe, great to be with you all.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Dave, starting with you, just talked about what you did at Grand Valley State. I feel like this is about the time when you said Iowa was going to start making strides. Last year, a great year. You're building something special there.
Well, we had a great year in 2014, the first year I was at Iowa, and got to the Big Ten final, and unfortunately couldn't get into the NCAA with the RPI, but we had a great year last year. Won 15 games and got ourselves to fifth in the Big Ten, and then got into the NCAA tournament, where we unfortunately lost in the first round to Kansas. So really happy with the culture that we've been creating and kind of building in the last couple years, and we're in a good place to be able to build this and have a little bit of sustainable success here in Iowa City.
Awesome. And you just touched on it. You guys had such a great season last year, making runs in both the tournaments. What has been the main focus for you guys this past off season to prepare for another great season?
Well, a lot of it is just creating sustained success, understanding kind of why we were successful last fall, the little details that occurred, whether it be on and off the field, fitness level, attention to detail in terms of training, investment into the game. And, and I think ultimately is getting the talent that is needed to be successful in the Big Ten. So it's not about reinventing the wheel. Really, it's just about continuing the process and building on that process, and talk a lot about success breeds success. And once you have success and you know what it looks like, you don't want to ever, be in a place where that's not the case. And you know that during your time at Northwestern, your 4 years there. So a lot of it is just about creating good habits and building off that.
We got a couple Canadians here today. As Dave's from Canada, Chloe's from Canada. Chloe, I got to admit, I don't remember you ever even coming out of a game. You started every game when you showed up in Iowa, and then Dave got there. You made that great run the 1 year that you were under Dave. You had an amazing career in Hawkeye land. What did your time at Iowa mean to you?
It was definitely such a special experience, because coming from Canada, it's harder for players there to get opportunities in the United States, and especially for such a big university like Iowa. I think I was just really honored to be there my entire 4 years, and it was so special to me. And I always wanted to show up, and I wanted them to know that by choosing me, I would represent the Iowa Hawkeyes in the very best way that I could. And you definitely left your mark on the Iowa women's soccer program. I think Dean alluded to, we're tied for first in points, second in goals, and second in game-winning goals. But not only that, you were known for your character, and all 4 years of your career at Iowa, you were nominated the team MVP. What does that mean to you to have that respect from your teammates? Obviously, it's special, like something that I always want to be represented. Like, I want people to know that my work ethic will never be questioned, and for them to choose me to be the MVP for 4 years, it really put value to that, and it made me just feel really good and appreciated by the team, of course. Yeah, that's super impressive. I don't think I've ever met a player in my career who has been that dominant and had an impact like that all 4 years. And then to be able to take that and play professionally, how well do you think that the Big Ten specifically prepared you for your professional career? Yeah, for sure. The Big Ten and the University of Iowa definitely gave me the tools to be able to play professionally, and not only play professionally, but sustain it and be successful within my career. I mean, just everything I learned there through my 4 years really gave me like a springboard to be able to be successful in my current career.
Dave, I don't know if it's because she's Canadian or just because she's a superstar, but you have tracked her proficiently. You know all of her stats, what she did in Iceland, what she's doing in Portugal. You've kept a close eye on this young lady.
Yeah, super stalker. No, I'm pretty proud of her. I mean, I know that, Ron Rainey is as well, and everybody else who is, was able to spend time with Chloe, at the University of Iowa. And our sports information people were asking me about her the other day. Has the league started, and how's she doing? And is she still scoring goals? So we used some of her goals this spring for our forwards to represent, the nuances of the game. So we're very proud of that she came from the University of Iowa and is a Hawkeye and Hawkeye for life. And we're here to help her in any way we can. And by her continuing her career and being as successful as it is, she's helping us holistically as well.
Chloe, when you see Dave on the screen, what do you remember about the 1 year with him and his coaching style?
It was definitely interesting because we had my senior class, there were so many of us, and we were a very overwhelming group, to say the least. There's big personalities. And then we had Dave come in. We were like, okay, we didn't really know what to expect, right? Because all of us, we just didn't know. And we were so confident coming in all these seasons that we were just growing and growing. So we were excited to see what Dave could bring to the table because we were all so eager and willing to learn and grow. And we knew that Dave had a very good resume and that he did very well where he had coached previously. So we were excited about the opportunity, and we just wanted to prove to him what we could do as a class and what we could do as a team.
And Dave, when you think about all the exciting moments in Chloe's career, I know you guys maybe only overlapped by a year, I believe. Her senior year was your first year coaching, but thinking back on her career and all the great moments that came with it, is there one specific moment that really stands out to you, one goal or game-winning goal?
Well, I think it was pretty easy to see how talented she was. And again, Chloe, references a really great senior class, which she had. Just a great group that helped her with that. But, the 2 games against Penn State, I think was a big deal, the year before I got here, and seeing her knock Penn State out, essentially, on her own, 1 versus 3, 1 versus 4 in counter situations. But ultimately, and Dean alluded to it earlier, like Chloe was like an iron woman, never came off the field, like in a lot of situations where we had to play in different formations, that year to eke out 15 games and get to 5th place. And a lot of times she was the lone forward playing up in those spaces. And so for her to be able to never really question like what we were doing, maybe in her mind she was, but to not question why we were doing it. Soccer IQ is pretty high for Chloe, and I had a great deal of respect for that. And to be honest, that was what I took from it. Not her competitive spirit, not her leadership qualities and what she did on the field, but she just, in the end of the day, had a respect for what we were trying to do and saw it as well, kind of through a coach's mind and coach's eyes, and kind of was all in on what needed to get done to try to get the victory or the result we could.
You had a ton of victories at Grand Valley State. We mentioned those 3 national titles in your last 5 years there. Talk about how your experience at D2 prepared you to make this step to D1 in Iowa.
Well, a lot of it, I think, was about just understanding what the foundation was needed. I don't think that you can cheat the system. I think you have to build it the right way and do it with the right people who are invested in the process. And certainly talent matters, especially in the Big Ten when there are a lot of goals that are 1-goal games or a lot of games that are one goal games and ties. So it is about tactics and it is about growing in that process. But it is about, I don't think you can cheat the system. Talent matters, investment matters, and you got to grow it the right way. And I think once you get the right culture, it becomes a little bit more sustainable, and to be successful from year in and year out.
Finally, Chloe, as we look at Dave, you've heard the expression, where's Waldo? I want to say, where's Dave Diianni? The man's lost 40 pounds. He looks amazing. He looks like he could go out there and take you on, Chloe. Your comment, and then Dave, talk about your secret to success.
It's just Iowa. It's the corn,
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they're eating over there.
It's that I'm not eating the corn. That's the thing. Secret to the success. No, I just, the pandemic, to be honest, you're stuck in the house, you work out a little bit more, you get a little bit of a regimen, and you can only be on Zoom so much. So trying to work out a bit more, and it was time for me to jump back into training with the Iowa girls rather than just watch it from the sidelines.
Well, you look great, Chloe. We're so happy for all your success. I loved watching you play. I love the fact that you were an Iron Woman. You never left the field, and you always delivered the goods. That's Big 10 and 10 with the Iowa women's soccer team. I want to thank Hannah Davison. Of course, I want to thank Dave Diianni, Cloe Lacasse. Keep getting it done, okay?
Thank you.